QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking? What's cracking? It's your boy Rashad and Dave back together once again. Dave, appreciate you for holding it down last week.
Yeah, man,
Much needed.
I'll try. You
Much
know, it
needed.
was good that you weren't here to talk about the destruction that happened to me at Combo Breaker the weekend prior. So it was good for me to just go through the motions of what went down while I was in Chicago the weekend before that.
Well, I already told you. I mean, that's anticlimactic because I already told you.
I mean,
I knew you was gonna get smacked.
Nah, I mean, I'll keep it a buck. There was some games I felt like I should have done better at, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I just know that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot. You know, and I've learned that not having kids and plenty of time has a very significant advantage over others. I've learned that very heavily. But no, it was fun. I had a blast. I had a blast out there. So
good stuff, man. It's been a crazy, busy couple weeks for your boy, but now things are starting to slow down. I got one out of school. I got one wrapping up this week.
That's been nice.
And so, yeah, man, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Both of my kids are still in school. They're both done next week.
Yeah. And dance season has come to a stop for a second, right? This week, no dance classes as they had their recital. Week? Yes, basically, yeah. That's a good. Hey, real talk. That's a perfect way to put it because we had our recital. We had our recital this past Sunday, and now it's no classes, so we on bye. But then things pick back up because we got the Super Bowl coming up in July. So that's good stuff, man. Good stuff. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all that's going on with me.
In a week, it'll be scholarship season for my oldest. Because it's going to be time to start applying for them scholarships and start making a decision on what schools they want to hit, what schools they're going to apply to, and figure out what this financial aid going to be looking like. And then she's going to realize that her dad did very well in her career, and she ain't going to get as much help as she thinks from a need-based standpoint. So she's going to have to get ready for the it's going to be hammer time. But these schools ain't cheap, bro.
Yeah, it's not cheap anymore, bro. It's not like it used to be.
No, sir. The $1,000 semester to go to A&T, that era is over.
That's over, bro. That is over, man. That is over.
Which I did not get to have because I was out of state, but y'all in state cast. I envied the heck out of y'all, bro.
Yeah, I had it. But yeah, man. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it, bro. Anything else going on for you this week? You talked about last week. What about this weekend?
Nah. Last weekend, it was pretty chill. I mean, my daughter took the SAT. Y'all had Divine and Vows. I had to cancel the trip because of the SATs.
Fire.
But I know that was a good. I saw the pictures, man. I felt the way about the pictures.
It's fire, bro. It's fire. We have fun again.
And now I got a airline credit for Breeze Airways, and I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to use it. So we got to figure that out at some point.
Breeze Airways, bro. Did you know your mistake last time, bro? What you doing?
Well, I already had the ticket booked, right? So like I was so furious about the last Breeze Airways experience I had. I was hoping they would refund me with my actual money. It's like, oh, no, all you can get is credit, buddy. So at some point, I'm going to take the Breeze dive. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, Dave, let's go ahead and get into this content, man. A lot to talk about.
How was the blueprint? What did you think?
Blueprint was cool. I think a lot of people, based off of the chat comments, a lot of people were talking about pretty lackluster because it wasn't, it wasn't like a hype video per se. It was more like just an introduction to the coaching staff.
Yeah.
So we got to understand, a little bit behind the method behind the madness for Canales, his coaching style. Brad Isaac, his coaching style.
Yeah, I watched it. Like I knew you were gonna go live for the live reaction, so I ended up watching. I was 15 minutes behind everybody else, but I literally just finished it 5 before the show started. And I will say it was the Dave Canales show in my opinion. That's what it was. It was pretty much Dave and Dan. I mean, not really too much of a hype type of thing. It was just, all right, this is what we want to do. This is how we're going to do it, and blah, blah. So we'll see. I mean, ain't no games played yet. We'll see what episode 2 brings us. Maybe to talk more about all the other stuff that they're doing, but that was primarily focused on the staff.
Yeah, I think they'll talk about the draft picks. That'll be an episode for the draft picks, and then probably one for the new free agents. It's kind of similar to what they did last year. So I mean, it's cool. I like it. I mean, bro, we can't complain. It's really no football going on right now. So we got to take what we can get. And I appreciate the blueprint video. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Episode, yeah. So Carlos says episode 2 is the draft. Yeah. So
we'll do the draft. Yeah, I am fascinated about how they got to these players. They did do a couple trades here and there, so it'll be good to see how that goes. So I'm intrigued. See if we get some nuggets out of that. That's the truth be told. That's the episode where you get the nuggets. The draft episode is where you get the nuggets. You ain't get too many nuggets from the others, but sorry to spoil it for you guys, but I'm just just history. That's what it shows.
Yep. But all right, man, let's go and get into it. Y'all know what time it is. Stay on the prowl. Y'all know what to do. Real quick, Dave, the preseason games, a preseason schedule have been released. We got one home game against the New York Football Jets. Jets, Jets. But first up, though, Dave, are you going to go to this game on August 8th?
Yeah.
New England Patriots.
I'm going to pull up. And I'm wondering if they're going to probably do a joint practice for 2 of these teams, right?
Well, I know for a fact they already announced the one for the Jets. So that's happening. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did one with the Patriots.
Yeah, they did. They've already done one in the past. So I'm curious to see if they do that. I'm going to try to pull up to that as well. So that'll be good if I can put it, because the 8th I believe is a Thursday if I recall correctly. Let me double check that.
Let's fact check that.
I think the 8th is a Thursday because it ain't a Saturday. I can tell you that.
Yes, it is.
The 8th is a Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah, because the Jazz Festival is the weekend prior, so that's literally why I know that. So the 8th is a Thursday. So yeah, I mean I'm a little further away from Foxborough. It's like an extra 10 minutes, so it'll be a 30-minute drive for me. I'll probably pull up to that because, as I said before, Foxborough is further away from Boston than folks realize. It's closer to Rhode Island, so not that hard for me to get there, and it's not that much traffic. The only traffic is getting out. It ain't gonna be that bad during training camp, and the game might be brutal, but it depends. It's week 1. It's the first game of preseason, so. But yeah, I plan on going. Tickets will be cheap.
Yeah, so preseason, week 1 against the Patriots. Dave is going to that. Then we've got week 2 against the Jets, and they're already announced joint practices, so that should be interesting. Now, are we going to be able to view them? Whole nother set of questions there. So we'll see.
You'll probably get to go. Well, it all depends, right? Because
where they're going to do it.
Where? Because they announced where they're going to do training camp this year.
Nope.
Ooh. It's part of the reason why I made a decision to just go to the Jazz Festival this year, by the way. I didn't want to risk it because they don't have no idea what they're going to do. Ain't worth my risk.
I'm sure they know. They just haven't announced it to the people yet.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the whole thing today. We talked about the whole setup they're trying to do, so but we'll see. I'm gonna wait and see this one. Wait and see this year. But we'll see.
And then preseason week 3 versus the Buffalo Bills. Dave, you can go to that one too, right?
No, I ain't driving up there. That's like 5-hour drive.
Man, that ain't that bad, bro. Come on,
bro.
Man.
I'm not driving up there for a 1:00 preseason 3 game when I know it'll be on television. I'm good. I'm not driving up there.
Come on, man.
Nah,
that's terrible, bro.
No, it's not. No, it's
Marquise
not.
Marquise says that the Jets game will tell us a lot about this team. Well, I think the joint practices will tell us a little bit. I don't know about a lot. It'll tell us a little something about where we stand. But it's a preseason game. I don't expect it. I don't know. I don't expect too much. Just I'm not. There's not when these games happen for a preseason standpoint. I don't expect to come away with a lot. The practices are going to show me. Yeah, I don't think so. You're not going to see the guy. You're not going to see the starters play like that.
Well, no, I mean, I think you get stuff out of it though. Like I think folks don't credit the wins and losses don't matter as much. How you look matters. You know what I'm saying? If we go 0-3 in the preseason and I like what I see offensively and defensively, then that's a whole different ball game. But yeah, because like last year during the preseason, I didn't like what I saw. I was afraid. I'm not going to front. I was afraid, but we don't know. I don't want to hear. I'm going to be honest. If I hear the word vanilla, I'm going to be furious. I mean, come up with another ice cream flavor or something. I don't want to hear vanilla, bruh. I don't. I have no interest in hearing vanilla. Because y'all tried to convince me with that vanilla stuff last year, and we saw how that worked out. No. I don't want vanilla, French vanilla, no vanillas. None. All right.
It's just I don't expect much from preseason, bro. Like I think you're gonna see a little bit. Hopefully you'll see some formations. But you're not gonna get an indicator of much, in my opinion, if anything. I think you'll see us. I think we may learn a little bit from the rookies. You see some stuff with the rookies. You'll see those guys play and individual performances, like somebody said in the chat. Yeah, that's cool, but I'm not walking away with a lot. It's just I think the practices
do matter.
They will show us more than the actual game will, in my opinion.
I'm curious to see how Coach Canales handles the preseason games, and depending on if they get more than just the joint practices, they end up joint practicing with Buffalo or New England. So I'm kind of curious to see how he handles the games. So that's because he's a brand new head coach. He's doing evaluation on everybody across the board. So I'm kind of fascinated to see how he's going to handle it. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, I will be here. If we can see the Jets practices, I'll be there. If not, I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll have to wait on it. All right. Let's move on. Dave, these stadium renovations, we got to talk about it. News dropped yesterday that we are going to be basically overhauling. Well, I wouldn't say overhaul, but we are renovating Bank of America Stadium. Doing some stuff to it. And Dave, when you saw this news, what was your initial thoughts when you saw that we were getting some renovations to the stadium?
When I saw the video, I was like, "Oh, this looks really cool." And then I said, "Oh, they don't want a Super Bowl." That's the first thing I said. And because I would have thought they would have considered like doing a dome. But overall, I thought the renovations were pretty dope. And I also thought that I think the moving away from where it's located is out of the picture now. I think that discussion's over. From my perspective, I think this is and Cupid Buck, the stadium's in a perfect place. It's in a perfect spot. I would never move it from where it's at. But the other thing I thought was that they used COVID as the reason of why they didn't want to do a dome, which I'm not rolling.
Yeah, I'm not rolling with that. That sounded like BS. So
yeah,
what Dave was talking about, just to expound upon that point, was that somebody asked Tepper and the whole, I guess, people over the stadium about adding a cover to the stadium, because there's some teams, I think some soccer teams like Real Madrid and some other teams have put a stadium or put a cover over the stadium for about the same cost, a little bit more. I think 1.9 was invested in Real Madrid to get a cover over their stadium, or at least some sort of retractable or something.
Roof. Yeah.
Yeah. And David Tepper was like, COVID's kind of got me a little nervous about that. And I don't think that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm not buying that either.
Nah, I just, that's too, no, I'm not rolling. Nah, I mean, I did find it fascinating, but I expected them to say that they talked about how many more events they have at Bank of America Stadium now than before, since they've owned the team. And, because it's more than football and soccer. It's also about events. He brought concerts back to Charlotte. So, but I think about like, all right, I mean, they can still do a WrestleMania in Charlotte, and they can still do a SummerSlam in Charlotte.
Bro, they had it outside in Philly, bro. Like they
can do it that ain't a problem. They can do a WrestleMania and a SummerSlam in Charlotte, but the question was like the dome requirement for me was about the Super Bowl. But the Super Bowl, for those who don't realize this, but I'll break it to you. Super Bowl ain't for us, guys. It's not for us anymore anyway.
Yeah, so let me talk about the Super Bowl, because I don't think there's any kind of renovation to the stadium itself. there's nothing indicating Super Bowl for me. If you look at the list of renovations, what about that says, "Oh, we're gonna get a Super Bowl"?
No, my point is that to get a dome, like if you made it a dome, that helps your chances to get one.
Completely disagree. Completely disagree because there's plenty of outdoor stadiums have held Super Bowls. That's not
over the last 15 years.
But that's because newer stadiums are coming with them. That doesn't mean, bro, how many times has Super Bowl been in Tampa, bro? Like, and Tampa doesn't have a dome. They have it there. Like, it feels like they have the Super Bowl in Tampa every 5 years. Right? The Super Bowl is always in Tampa. I don't think that is a dictate. That's not an indication of a Super Bowl. What dictates a Super Bowl is the city infrastructure. Charlotte is not ready for that yet, bro. We don't have it. We don't have it yet. We're not ready. And I think that maybe that's kind of why Tepper's kind of kicking the can down the road, trying to, all right, we're gonna renovate until we can actually have it here. But bro, we can't, bro. There's not enough here to have a Super Bowl, bro.
If Jacksonville can have a Super Bowl, Charlotte can have a Super Bowl.
Jacksonville is pretty spread out, bro. Jacksonville is pretty large.
A lot of folks complain about that Super Bowl in Jacksonville, bro.
And that's probably why it won't be in Charlotte.
But my point stands though. Like if Jacksonville can get a Super Bowl, Charlotte can get a Super Bowl.
But exactly. So again, I go back to the point. If Jacksonville can get a Super Bowl with that BS stadium they got, why can't what about this renovation says, oh, well, now we're getting a Super Bowl?
Oh, I don't think we're going to get a Super Bowl with the renovations we first had. I felt like the dome.
I mean, I'm talking about now.
Oh wow.
They don't have Jacksonville doesn't have a dome either. Like we keep saying dome, like a dome just automatically equates to Super Bowl, bro.
The weather is the part of the reason why I said dome too. Like I think they're conscious of the weather.
Bro,
they did one in New York because they had to.
We're like 8 hours from Jackson. The weather's not that big.
In February.
Huge. Bro, it's not that crazy. I mean, obviously it's Florida. I understand that, but it's not it's not that drastic, bro. Let's be real.
If we look at the last locations of the last 10 Super Bowls, and we could look at it.
Look it up.
Last 10 Super Bowl locations.
Most of them are because they're newer stadiums. They're getting brand new stadiums.
Let me see. So we had it in Miami, warm. We had it in Cali. We had it in Florida.
Hold on. No, don't just skip over. Was it a dome or not a dome?
Dolphins don't have a dome, but they're in warm climate cities too, man.
Bro, like, so are we. So Charlotte is we're in North Carolina. It is pretty mild, bro. Like we're acting like it's like you talking like it's New York or New England, bro. It's North Carolina. It's pretty mild, bro.
The high typically the average high in North Carolina in February is 56 degrees.
That's perfect football weather. What are we talking about?
Low is 34 compared to like Miami. Compared to Miami, where it's 75. Or compared to Jacksonville.
You act like 50 is
dog.
What's Jacksonville? What's Jacksonville?
I got family members that won't even visit me if it's not above 70. Like, come on, guys.
What's Jacksonville's
69 is their high.
Bro, that's not that. Come on, bro. What are we doing? Come on. 55 is perfect football weather, bro.
But the low is in the 30s, man. But not granted. And the game's at night. The low's in the 30s.
They've had it in outdoor stadiums in the north. They had
to do it in New York. They had to. With that new stadium, they had to. Because it was MetLife. They had to. That's where their headquarters are. And trust me, they didn't enjoy that either because the high there was in the 40s. They had to. But either way, we can argue about we can go back and forth about the whole Super Bowl thing.
My point is
I like the renovations. I think it's dope. I think it's going to change the game day experience for the fans who go. Now the question I have is, are they going to be out here putting the game outside?
Like, well, yeah. So I think that's what, if you read the tea leaves on what it's on what they're showing, I think that's gonna be an idea that they put the game on outside, and there's gonna be a gathering place for folks to watch the game. That's kind of dope.
It
I think
is.
that's kind of dope.
I ain't gonna hold you.
So
But is
yeah,
it gonna
that's
be
kind of
free?
dope.
Like how they gonna do it? Because that's a
I
big
doubt it.
screen, bro.
I highly doubt it's
How
gonna
they
be
gonna
free.
block? How they gonna block like a random cat walking down and walking uptown to just chill out and watch the game at 1 o'clock? They're
Well,
gonna be like,
I think that's what they're trying to make that whole like park feel. Like it's gonna be like a city park type feel. I think they're gonna be. It's gonna be interesting, man. Let's talk about some of the plans for this, and let's just talk about Christy Coleman. She's the I guess the president, the team president, and like she was saying, the Bank of America Stadium has a solid infrastructure, but investments are needed to ensure that our decades-old venue continue to deliver the best experience for our players, fans, and community. Right. What's really interesting is that it's not going to require any new or increased taxes. Obviously, we talked about this on the past on our show about the hospitality and tourism taxes and all that stuff. That's something that's already in place. And so that stuff is legally required by the state to be spent on projects to support the city's tourism economy. So stuff like this is a part of that funding.
All right. So now I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to have fun. Would this be considered tourism?
Yeah. Yeah, people like you flying to come and watch the games. So how is it not? And they stay in hotels, right? Am I lying?
Yeah. All right, that's fair.
A lot of fans, bro. We've seen our stadium get taken over by Cowboys fans. I think they would consider it a tourism, for sure. It 1000% is.
Okay. Yeah, I think the other thing that they and I think it was smart on Tepper's part to make sure they did more events outside of football and soccer in that stadium too. Because now you can say, wait a minute, now we got Garth Brooks showing up in here. Folks are traveling to come see this man. I think that's a factor too. Not just the football. It's also not just the sporting events. It's also the concerts and the other events they do within that stadium.
Yeah, they talked about that in the article. They were saying that while we might have one of the oldest stadiums in the league, it's one of the more active stadiums in the league because there's so much going on with the music and the soccer team now, and there's just a lot happening at that stadium. So
that helps too.
It absolutely does.
That helps.
Really quick, just to go over some of the stuff that's going on at the stadium. Fans will be able to experience the best technology, new state-of-the-art sound system, scoreboard, and video boards. There's going to be unique areas with skyline views, improved concessions with regional offerings, expand the team store. The team store definitely needs to be expanded. It's kind of small. What's going to incorporate more Panthers and Charlotte FC stuff. Arts and culture elements will be infused throughout the design. A couple more things. Brand new seats installed. So I'm wondering, Dave, can I get
I was going to ask you about that too, bro.
Yeah, I want my physical seats. Give me my PSL seat. I paid for them. I want them.
But then it becomes the question, right? Like I think the big thing about building a new stadium was that the PSL seats are no longer the PSL seats if they built the new stadium. So now the question I have is now if they're going to put new seats in there, does that mean that you guys got to rebuy your PSLs?
Nah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening, bro. They better just replace my seat with a new section 310 row 10.
I'm asking. I'm wondering because like this is the thing that some people do to get folks to rebuy. So I'm very
well, Dave. They are ripping out an entire section to put that little viewing deck area. So somebody's gonna lose their PSL seats.
Or they might get an opportunity to replace it.
Or replace it with something, but I don't think there's that many PSL seats available. So they might get cashed out. I don't know how that's going to work, but they're ripping out one of the sections, an entire section that they'll be taking out to have that viewing area. So somebody's going to lose their PSL. Now I hope I ain't trying to rebuy mine. They tripping with that. Or they better run me a check.
Yeah, I just find it. I just find, when I saw that they're ripping seats out, the first thing I thought was this might be their exit to revamp the PSL packages.
They might try. They might try. So a couple of things: improve accessibility throughout the facility, stadium safety and security enhancements, including illuminated wayfinding and improved lighting. A reimagined South Lawn Pavilion area that can be used as community gathering spot and outdoor classroom on game days and non-event days. So that's what we're talking about with that that gathering area. It's going to be interesting to see how they manage that. Upgraded restrooms, definitely can afford to upgrade the restrooms. Um, enhanced enhancements to the stadium's exterior to reaffirm its place as an iconic, beloved fixture of Charlotte skyline. And then they talk about some reduction of the environmental impact and all that good stuff. So how it's going to work is there's going to be a fixed investment of $650 million from the city of Charlotte over the term of the deal, right? So it's going to be $688 million by Tepper Sports and Entertainment, which already includes $117 million that was invested prior to June 2024, and an estimated $571 million towards renovation costs and all the other stuff. So
Tepper's paying half.
He's paying half of it, yeah, and it's already paid half, more than half. He's paying more than half, a little more than half.
Okay.
Yep, he's paying a little more than half. And what's I think what I read somewhere else is that this is going to start to take place from 2025 all the way through 2029, which begs the question: are they going to outdate themselves by taking this long to renovate the stadium?
No. I think with all the new stuff, I think they'll be fine. I mean, because they're bent on not rebuilding, not building a new stadium. Some people feel like $1.3 billion should be more than enough to build a brand new stadium. But the question becomes, if you're going to build a new stadium, how fast can you build a new stadium? Where's the team going to play if you decide to build a new stadium? There's a lot more logistical things that can happen. Doing it this way can be a phased approach, so you don't have to necessarily lose the revenue and having to move it outside of the city of Charlotte.
Yeah, so that goes to like that kind of speaks to my initial thoughts. When I first saw this be announced, I was like, "Yo, that's dope." They're not going to move the stadium. Team's not going anywhere because I think somewhere in the deal is they can't move the team
until after year 15.
Year 15. So that's 15 more years of Carolina Panther football. Hopefully, within that time, we win a Super Bowl. But I digress. But I was hoping that's all good news that no new state, because I love where the stadium is situated. Like there is no better spot than where it sits right now in the city of Charlotte. Like it's dope where it's at, uptown, great views, it's fire. So I was happy that they decided to go away with we're gonna build a new stadium, because to me you would have to tear the stadium down and build right back where it's at, and the amount of time that's gonna take, it's gonna take a long time. So I like the fact that they're doing renovations. I just wonder if they're going to age themselves out because by the time 2029 comes around, I hope there's some future proofing involved where they're not, because who knows what technology is going to be available in 2029. Like we're moving so fast now that you got AI and all this stuff just kind of popped up recently. Like there's what's going to happen over the next 4 years? What are we going to miss out by? And hopefully they incorporate some of that stuff, right? Hopefully it's not kind of set in stone on what they're going to do. But I'm happy about it. I'm happy about what they're doing. I like it. I like what Tepper's doing here. Again, nobody has been a bigger critic than David Tepper than me, but I really like this. I really like what's going on. I like what they're doing with the practice field. But Dave, a quick segue here. I mean, we still got some work to do. We still got some work to do because Adam Thielen, he was talking to some folk, and yeah, the word on the streets, according to Adam Thielen, he's been to a lot of stadiums, been to a lot of places, and he says that we have the worst facilities in the league, and it's not. It's by pretty much by a long shot.
Nah, by a long shot. Cincinnati.
That's what he's saying, bro.
Cincinnati, bro. Unless Cincinnati has stepped their game up big time, it's Cincinnati. And all due respect to the Bengals fan base, But y'all, when Marvin Lewis was the coach, they didn't have a scouting team. They were sharing jock straps. Like they didn't have money. Pause. Like they the owner at Mike Brown was that cheap. With that team. So like they were literally like
guys, real quick, Dave. So when we're talking about facilities, we're talking about weight rooms, we're talking about locker rooms. That's what we're talking about. Not the stadium, not any of that stuff. We're talking about facilities, like the player-oriented stuff. And so I think that's where we're getting into a situation where they were supposed to have the Rock Hill facility. And that's why I cut David Tepper a little bit of slack here. The Rock Hill facility was supposed to be that, right? That was where we were supposed to have the medical, all that premier facility stuff was supposed to be there. It didn't work out due to the city. Rock Hill kind of backed out, whatever. And so I cut David Tepper some slack there. They're starting to revamp. You could tell it kind of caught him off guard, and it almost looked like organized chaos when it comes to this new facility, because we're just now, you got the practice fields going on next to Bank of America Stadium. So I think it caught him off guard with that whole Rock Hill situation. So I think, and again, I think this, just to take this article in context, like he did say they're working on it. It's not like he's saying, "Oh, I hate it here and it's time for me to go." He said that they are working on it. But at this point in time, we have some of the worst facilities. My bad, Dave. Go ahead.
But the Vikings, somebody said Noli said in the chat, the Vikings were rated number 1, and there's other teams that's probably got worse facilities than us. I'm not buying.
Well, I'm sure Adam Thielen would be able to tell us. He was a former Viking. If he's saying that's my point. That our facilities are worse than the daggone Panthers, I would believe him.
Well, no. If you came from the best facilities in the league, like some people say that, like the Vikings were rated number 1.
So number 1. My bad. Okay, my bad.
The Vikings were rated number 1, like the best facilities in the NFL. So
my bad.
No, I got you. So if somebody who played pretty much his entire, until he came to Carolina, he played his entire career in Minnesota, of course he's going to think everything else is going to be lackluster. So there's a level of context that you got to take with that too.
True.
But I can understand him saying it's terrible, because it is probably terrible compared to what the heck he had in Minnesota. And they, by the way, just for sake of clarity, they just recently got a brand new stadium themselves. So there's that part too. Some folks are saying the Chiefs have the worst, and they just won the Super Bowl. So I guess facilities don't mean much.
Well, and that's what he said too. He did say that. Adam Thielen did. He quoted that. He said that really facilities don't necessarily matter much. He said what happens, between those lines, what really matters. And so he did say that. Just I don't want to take this out of context and try to paint Adam Thielen as some entitled guy. He wasn't coming off like that.
No,
the headline is crazy, but he wasn't coming off like that. He was really, just kind of giving his opinion.
And in the grand scheme of things too, right? This is the NFL. What is the worst facilities in the league compared to like everybody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, just for a baseline, it's the National Football League. So, and this right here, I don't know, man. Jerry Jones ain't broke, and he ain't cheap either. So, but we'll see. I wouldn't be too concerned about this because Tepper is trying. Like you said, man, David Tepper is absolutely trying.
He is.
He's trying.
I do cut him some slack, man. He is trying to build this up, and I do think that Rock Hill deal kind of threw a wrench in the plans. Like we were supposed to have that facility open by now, and we were going to have probably some of the better facilities in the league. Now we're kind of shuffling and things. These business deals and stuff like this, it takes some time. You know what I mean? So I'll cut him some slack on that. And even with the stadium, like I get it. You got to kind of weigh a lot of options, a lot of things. I'm sure David Tepper doesn't want to shut Bank of America Stadium down, because guess what? When you bring music back to Charlotte, you got to keep music in Charlotte. You can't shut the stadium down. You don't want to tear the stadium down and wait for us to build a new stadium for you. So do you know how much income from all the music that he brought to? That's a lot of money, that's a lot of income, guys. Bro. Yeah, so I get it from a business perspective. I understand because he's putting in minimal to him. 650 some million is probably not a lot of money to him. You know what I mean? So like he's putting in that amount of money, but he's going to get a massive return from all of the things that are going to happen. So I don't know. I do see where Tepper's coming from here. I agree with where he's going, and I like it. I'm not gonna lie. I like it. All right. Anything else, Dave?
Nah. Let's quickly go through these super chats real fast.
Oh yeah,
We
my
got
bad.
4.
Go ahead.
Nah, we good. Shout out to Markeith Jones for the super chat. The Jets game would tell us a lot about this team. I absolutely agree. Markeith again, apples out from last year's game. I'm assuming we were talking about one of the preseason games. Wade, someone else came out and said it's good football weather also. Yeah, I think that was about when we were talking about the Super Bowl discussion. I think folks are sleeping on like the temps. Like I think that matters because you're talking about all the corporations, bro. It's the corporations, man. The folks that buy them tickets are corporations. They ain't us.
Completely disagree, bro.
I get it. Dave talking about Charlotte being cold when he lives in Frigid, Rhode Island. Bruh, listen, man, I don't enjoy the Rhode Island weather either. I'm not a fan of it. Never been a fan of it. The cold isn't the bad part. It's the snow. I despise the snow, guys. I hate it.
Bro, we ain't get snow in these parts for a couple years.
But the crazy thing about the snow, when it snows, the temperature tends to be more consistent. When it doesn't snow, that's when it gets cold. I tell you, cold.
It ain't getting cold here.
But
All right, ready? We good?
Let's rock.
All right, let's keep it moving. Patreon.com/Panther Nation PC. Got a huge announcement real quick before we get into the Patreon. Dave, we did it.
We did do it.
All right. The last time Dave and I were together on this show, we made an announcement about the game tickets for the Munich game. And we kind of gave y'all some prices on from the on location. Boy, did they try to
robbery,
bro. They tried to play, bro. Matter of fact, I need to call from my man from on location, and he need to apologize to me, bro.
Oh, I called him today to go get my money back because we had to put that deposit. Did you call to get your money back yet?
Bro, I immediately, bro. What?
Yeah, I called today to get my deposit back.
Before I called you, I hit them first. Bro, they tried to rob. Bro, they tried to rob us. We talk about like 1,100. What we say, $1,500 tickets?
Like $1,500.
Bro, $1,500 tickets, bro, to go to this game.
I might stay at the same hotel as you at the Marriott, not you to save my points.
So I got a call, and I told y'all we could put our name as a PSL owner, as a Silver Club PSL owner. We could put our names in the hat to win or to have the opportunity to pay for tickets at the base price. So lo and behold, the deadline for a call was or email was going to be on the 31st of May. I got my call on the 30th saying, okay, you're eligible. You're going to get tickets. Okay. So I immediately did what I needed to do. Immediately. I hit Dave. I was like, bro, they hit me up. And I showed them the prices. So y'all, let me tell y'all something. We paid, me and Dave, we got 4 tickets. 4 tickets for less.
For half.
Than
of what for one ticket would have got.
Almost half. Yeah, almost half. Almost half of that joint. Almost half of what On Location was trying to get us. Basically, it was about $200 a piece. And guess what? We are lower level. Like we like section 107, 13 rows up. So we got 4 seats. So 4 seats. You heard that 4 seats.
4 seats.
4 seats. So it's only 2 of us. It's only one. It's only me and Dave. So y'all know what that means. You know what time it is. We're gonna do a giveaway now. Now, before we do a giveaway for this ticket, you have to commit to going to the game. And I'm gonna start with my folks over in Germany. I gotta start with my folks because you're already over there. I'm gonna start over with my guys over in Germany first. Okay. So they're gonna get first right of refusal. So what I need y'all to do is after this show goes live on YouTube, I need my folks in Germany to comment. Just say, hey, I'm in Germany and I want to go to the game. Something to that effect. Just get my attention, okay? After this goes live, not right now in this joint.
Nah, because we ain't gonna look at these.
I'm talking about once now. This joint. Yeah, I'm talking about once this joint goes live, it processes, and because a lot of the folks in Germany usually catch it the next day anyway.
Yeah.
But when it goes, I need y'all to get in the comments and let me know. Say, hey, I can make it to the game, and I want to go. And I'm gonna put y'all names in a hat, and I'm gonna choose a winner to go to. Now, if we don't get any Germany folks, then I'm gonna open it up, and y'all, I'm gonna do it sooner rather than later, right? I'm gonna give y'all time to prep for it. But you gotta be serious. You gotta want to go. You can't just BS, because we not playing. Like me and Dave put up our personal money up to get these tickets. You know what I mean? So this is not a game. Like if you want to go, be serious about it, and you're gonna have to get your own accommodations, your flight, your hotel. But we got you on the game ticket. All right.
And the flights aren't that bad. To keep it a buck with y'all, flights ain't that bad. I mean, you if you really want to you want to be risky and hop on a discounted ticket. I mean, you probably can get a round trip for $700.
We not going on Breeze, bro.
I didn't say Breeze, like Iceland Air. There's other airlines, but there's other. I'm just saying the flights aren't that bad, depending on where you're at. But yeah. That's the order of operations from that standpoint. We're gonna give the other two away.
Yeah. So again, my folks in Germany, please, after this joint goes live, I need y'all to get in the comments of this video and say, "Yo, I'm in Germany. I want to go to the game." Then we're gonna draw from there, and then if I don't get any Germany folks to speak up, then I'm gonna go down to Patreon. It's gonna start in the Patreon, and then so on and so on and so on. Okay. So
somebody asked me how long the flight is from Boston. I think it's like 7 hours, 8 hours, which ain't that bad.
I think it's 8 hours from Charlotte.
It's like 7 hours from Boston. I'm doing a nonstop from Boston. So
yeah, it's not bad. Not terrible. Take you some melatonin, go to sleep, whatever.
I'm leaving Wednesday night and I will get there Thursday morning. So not bad.
And then your hotel room. I shout out to Marriott. I'm at the Marriott, not too far from the stadium. So
I'm at the Moxie.
Yeah, man, it's lit. You still at the hostel joint?
No, I'm at the Moxie. I'm at the Moxie, which is also a Marriott. But I might end up paying.
That's the one in the hood, right?
No, it's not in the hood. Don't do that. It's about a mile away from where you're at, sir. Don't do that. I don't need no hostility from you, okay? But I'm probably gonna switch back to the Marriott. I'm probably gonna pay because I have my points, so I got time. I booked the 2 spots. I'll just cancel one at some point. I got time.
Yeah, but yeah, man, this is what we do at PNP, man. Not a game, bro. I told y'all this is what we do over here. We going worldwide. We going over to Europe. It's gonna be a blast. Cannot wait. And yeah, we're giving tickets away. All right, so. I just wanted to put that out as we shout out our Patreon members. Shout out to the MVPs. Appreciate y'all. We're gonna have more giveaways. We got some game tickets to give away. So I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do my first game ticket giveaway this month. So one of these weeks, one of these Tuesday shows, I'm gonna start giving away the game tickets. All right. So we got a bunch of games. We got the Chiefs, the Cowboys, and if you win, you get to select which game you want to go to. That's how it works. So I'm gonna just pick a random person. Whoever wins, they will get to choose what game they want to go to, and we'll go until all the games are gone. Okay. All right. So shout out to the MVPs. Shout out to the franchise folk. We appreciate y'all, and shout out to the free agents, man. Without y'all contributions, this channel would be nothing. So I appreciate y'all so much. And we got some good content coming too. If you're in the Discord, you know what it is. I'm not gonna jinx it just yet, but we got some good content coming. We're connected with the former wide receiver, former Panthers wide receiver. Hopefully, we got some content coming. Shout out to my man Carlo. If you know, you know. And yeah, so free agents, we appreciate y'all. And Dave, any Underdog?
Yeah, so I got a question for you, Rashad. What You used the product Underdog Fantasy before to win some money, right? Using the pick 'em game.
Well, I haven't won, but I played.
You haven't won yet, man?
I
I
have
have
not won.
won. But what if I told you you have an opportunity to win 325 times your money?
Sounds like I would do it. That sounds like a
All
plan.
right.
What, sign me up. Where do I sign up, Dave?
So now here's the deal, man. Right now, for a limited time, they have this new game called Pick 8. And the way Pick 8 works is you pick 8. If you get all 8 right, and if you use the scorches, you can win 325 times your money. And they have a site-wide special for Pick 8 using Nick Pavetta for a baseball game that's going to happen tomorrow. All he's got to do is throw the ball, I believe, like 8 times or something to that effect. 8.5, I think is what it is, the pitch count. So that's a win. But they're doing Pick 8 for the NBA Finals. So they already got things up right now for the NBA Finals. So if you use the scorchers, you can win up to 325 times in money. And the beauty of the Pick 8 is you don't have to get all 8 right to win some money. You can get away with just getting, if you miss 2, you can still win if you have all 8. So go to underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP and take advantage of the opportunity. And the deposit match right now is $250. So go to underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP and play a game of Pick 8. I'm going to probably put a couple bucks in to see if I can win 325 times my money.
That's a lot. Sounds like a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I'm probably only gonna do like $5. $5 probably give me like, about $1,600.
What's the math?
Something like that.
I'm about to say, what's the math on that?
I mean, let me see. I'll just do it for the sake of accuracy. 1625.
That sounds like a Germany trip, bro.
Yeah, that sounds like a Germany trip to me too.
Sounds like a Germany trip.
I mean, that's your flight and hotel at least.
That is definitely.
Then you win the ticket, bang, you in there.
You in there like swimwear. Shout out to Underdog and PNP. You see how that worked? Shout out to Jose. He says, is the MVP level the ones that could get the chance to win the game ticket? Yes, MVP level only are the ones that are eligible to win the game tickets. Yes, MVP level only. All right. So yeah, man, appreciate y'all. All right, let's get into some more stuff. We talked about it earlier. Panthers and Jets joint practices. We did have joint practices with the Jets last year. Dave, any additional thoughts? I know we talked about the game, but any additional thoughts about the joint practices themselves?
I think it's another opportunity for Bryce Young to pick Aaron Rodgers' brain while he's out there, because Rodgers still is on the team. So I think it's a great opportunity for him. I'm looking forward to see some improvement. The offense is going to be different, obviously, with the new head coach. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, I think the Jets are really tough. The good defense. It'll be interesting to see Sauce and how he matches up with Deontay. Do we truly have a number one? Can he go out there and make something shake against Sauce? I don't know. The Jets are a solid team. I know they didn't have Aaron Rodgers last year. He got injured. But it's a good way to measure ourselves. Good way to measure ourselves.
Absolutely. And we'll see Tariq Cohen because he just signed with the Jets too.
Shout out to my man Tariq, Aggie Pride all day.
Yeah, man.
That's
and they're excited about
him too.
Huh?
That's probably why they signed him to give us all the trade secrets.
And no more than that. The kick return rules, bro.
That too.
The kick return rules, man. It's obvious that the Panthers already got other plans in place with regards to that for us. So, but for him, there'll be more kick returns than we've had in a long time. So makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be very interesting, man. I'm excited to see these joint practices. I got a link on my man Greg DePalma, who is a Jets fan, who runs Our Lads. He is probably going to ask us to collaborate on something because he's a Jets fan. So it's gonna be interesting. Gonna be very, very fun. Again, I really like. I don't. The Patriots. I think we may do one with them too. I think there's still opportunity to do joint practices with them, but Patriots don't. Not that we're great or anything, but I don't think they give us an opportunity to really truly measure ourselves.
Well, it'll be interesting too. Remember, they got a new head coach as well, Gerard Mayo. So new head coach, new rookie quarterback. So it'll be a little bit different than last year with Bill, right? So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I get what you're saying from that standpoint. I mean, they weren't a good team last year either. But they got a new coach. They got a new head coach and things to that effect.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it. Excited for sure. All right, let's move on. A couple other things. Dave, injury concerns. OTAs are underway, and we got a couple of guys that are a little banged up, and we'll go down the list. And first, we'll start with our man Xavier Leggett. He is still dealing with a hamstring issue that popped up last week at voluntary OTAs. And Dave, we always say it, bro. We always say when it's hamstring injuries, bro, them joints be lingering. And I don't know. Again, they talk about precaution and they're being very precautious with the injury, and they don't want to aggravate anything, so they're kind of letting them sit out. But they also at the same time will sit up there and tell you how important these reps are and how it's good for the guys that are out there and how great, it is to have these guys out there and they're getting all these reps. So Dave, are you concerned, or do you have any long-term concerns about Xavier Leggett and the hamstring issue?
Yep. I mean, I understand they're gonna say it's precaution. I'm not like panicking yet, but it's a concern. I mean, it's a concern. They're already trying to use the Gamecock correlation, but I'm not ready to go there yet. But I mean, it's a concern.
It's very interesting because
it's interesting, but I'm not ready to go there yet.
Another Gamecock up here that's hurt, and it's not. His name is not.
But you said he's gonna play every game next season, so you ain't got
to worry
about.
It ain't JC.
Oh,
it ain't JC. It's another Gamecock that we got that's injured.
Yeah.
But we'll get there in just a second. But we'll wrap up. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm not asking. I think there's opportunity for the other receivers on the roster to get more reps, which is good. I mean, because he ain't getting cut. So we well, I hope if it is precaution, I hope they don't rush him back. That's one thing for sure. I'd rather him try to not to push it.
Yeah. For me, I'm more concerned about the long term. Not the long term. I meant the short term aspect of it. Like, he's not getting these reps. I think it's prime time for him to connect with Bryce, for them to get on the same page in OTAs. I know there's not pads and it's not live, all that stuff, but it would be really good to see them connect and start to develop that relationship. These are prime times for this to happen, and with him being out right now, it's not ideal, especially with him being a rookie.
I'm with you. I mean, it just opens up opportunities for others. Like the pitcher you picked up, like the pitcher you grabbed too, man. Shout out to Coker. Shout out to Jen Coker.
Shout out to Coker, man.
But we'll see what happens with Leggett, man. I hope they bring him back. I hope he doesn't come back to his 100%.
For sure, I agree. Miles Sanders, Dave, is another one that's on this list. What do you think about Miles Sanders? He has something with his heel. It flared up a little on him a couple weeks ago, and now they're pulling him out. Dave, what you think about this? A heel injury?
Yeah, it ain't good timing for him. I'm just gonna be a bug with you. This ain't. I don't think it's good timing for him, sir.
Yeah.
Well, he could be a surprise release.
So is that a surprise?
I mean, for film, I bet the national media outlets will call it a surprise. It would be a surprise release. I wouldn't be shocked if we did it, but it would be a surprise release.
I don't see how it could be a surprise release when we just drafted a running back.
Well, no, but still, but then you ask the question, well, do you really keep, wouldn't you, if some young stud outside of Jonathan Brooks was obviously going to make the team, somebody else emerges, then yeah, it would be a surprise release. Because we're going to have to take the cap hit too, so.
Yeah, I saw somewhere where he was listed as a candidate to be cut for June 1. So, I mean, we talked about that at length.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Kind of ramifications, but yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen.
For the folks who watch us, it wouldn't be a shock if it happened. But from a national standpoint, it would be, is my point.
Right. I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
If it happens, all we're going to do is say this. I told y'all. But everybody else is going to be like, surprise! Panthers release Miles Sanders.
Oh, man, classic shit.
Yeah, so that's all.
Great stuff.
Yeah, somebody like Jaden Sheridan from Monmouth, somebody could emerge and take that last slot. And they could just make Miles Sanders expendable. So
yeah, I would not be surprised either. Dave, the last person I have on this list is DJ Wanham. That's what I was talking about, was the other Gamecock. He is working through some different things. They said he has multiple. they said he had some complications where he had a quad tendon rupture back in the day, and he had a repair on it, and there was some different things they had to clean out. So they're back and forth trying to get him healthy. I think he is. This is giving me a little bit of a. I'm a little concerned because he was a guy that did have 8 sacks last year. It was a career high for him, and we already thin at the pass rush, and so I'm a little concerned.
As you should be,
because he's supposed to be that guy. He's supposed to be at least he's supposed to be a higher level. I'm not saying he should be a double-digit sack guy, but he should be a contributor and picking up some sacks. And you got Clowney. We'll talk about that in a second, but it's not. Yeah, we can't afford to have injuries here, bro. We just can't.
Nope. And then we're gonna be out here having those discussions about why we traded Brian Burns and everything. Why didn't we pay him? And those are all gonna come back.
That chatter gonna be loud.
That chatter gonna be loud out if we get injuries at the position and we're not getting sacks. And that's the thing with me when we made a decision to do it. I'm like, I was pro pay the man, so I told if we start seeing injuries at the position, man, I'm gonna be ready for y'all.
Hey Dave, you on it, bro? You on it?
Look, man, I just want folks to have that clarity because I just think that I understand folks didn't want to pay him the money they ended up getting, but there's a penalty to that, and I understand folks saying, "Well, he ain't get the numbers." I'm like, yeah, but he got the attention, and Clowney's going to be that attention guy, but we got to see.
Nah, wait, that's funny.
I think we should let Miles go probably heal his heel. Wade, appreciate the super chat, but
nah, that's funny, bro. Nah, that's funny. You gotta let that one sink in, bro. That's funny.
Yeah, that's
Shout out
a
to
bar.
Wade for that super chat, man.
That's a bar.
But yeah, so DJ Wanna, Miles Sanders, Xavier Legette are the current injuries that we have. Now, with that said, some guys that are injured, but there's also some guys that just aren't there. Dave, they just aren't there.
I didn't expect them to be there. If we want to keep it a buck with
you,
but I won't hold you.
So now I'm just saying that I put that picture up there because that's the last time we see. That's the last time we see.
That man got his jersey and said, "I'm out, bro."
That's the last time we. That's the last time we seen Clowney. I'm joking, by the way. That's a joke. I'm being facetious.
Yeah.
I set that one up. I've been setting that one up all day. So my bad. But yeah, man. So the Clowney's not there. Panero's not there. There's a couple other guys.
Panero ain't coming back. Didn't we already have that discussion about Panero? Here we go again. Told y'all. He ain't coming back. The thicker kicker is about to take that man's job. It's over. It's over. As soon as you told me how much the cap savings they would get for cutting them, it was over.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah. Over. So Clowney's not there. We already talked. So we talked about the lack of depth from the edge rusher. You got Clowney not there. You got Wanham not there. So we really are relying on some young guys. They talked about. I think they asked Panero about it because not only are Clowney and Wanham not there, you got Clavon Chason, who we signed. He is also not there. You know what I mean? So
did we really sign these folks, or they just agreed to terms?
No, no, Dave, we signed them, bro. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, so they talked about, guys like Leota and some of these other guys that we have, and they're getting valuable reps right now because, and that's why I go back to, Legette not being there, and these reps are important, right? So,
but for somebody like Clowney, it's not important because you know that he's going to start. Like, I don't think there's not like.
No, yeah, I agree with you. But when I go back to Legette needs he's a rookie, bro. He needs these reps. So that's why I'm a little concerned. I'm more concerned about his injury and him not being there more so than others, because these reps are important. I know people say, "Oh, it's good to happen now than training camp or whatever." Yeah, you're right, but it's still a bad timing. This doesn't make it a good time. Yeah, I mean that's all I'm trying to say.
I agree.
But injuries are a part of the game. 1,000%. They happen. And yes, I would much rather it happen now than training camp. Yes, you're right. But I just, would rather them not happen, period. You know what I mean? So, and I just hope it's not a ongoing thing with Leggett, because we've dealt with some injury prone wide receivers in the past, and I just hopefully that's not the case here. But yeah, so those guys are not there at OTAs, and hopefully, man. And you know what's interesting though? I found when I was listening to Canales' his presser that day, they asked him about these guys and why they're not there, and his answer was interesting. I don't know whether to be concerned or just like, all right, I see where he's coming from. But basically, let me read you the quote, Dave.
Yeah, I need to hear this.
Let me see. He said, I have not asked them, and this was in regards to their whereabouts. He says, what I don't want to do is I don't want to send a message that I'm pressuring them to be here at all. This is voluntary. But what I have done is kind of reached out and touched base with them and making sure they're doing all right, and just kind of hearing what their life has looked like. So when I hear that, I see what he's trying to do. But I also want to see my head coach kind of be like, all right. And maybe he's saying one thing publicly and doing another thing privately. We will never know. I'm just only speculating here. But I would like my coach to want all his guys there and kind of put some oomph behind it. Especially right now, it's a new head coach. Clowney wasn't here last year. He doesn't know the system like that. There's Chason, like, bro, Clavon Chason, you were the last person. Can I be real? Y'all want me to pod or no?
Oh God,
because I could chill. I could chill if y'all want me to tell the truth, or y'all want me to just move on. Because I move on. I'm gonna chill. Nah,
you good. No. You already opened up the can. Bro. Nope, you opened up the can of worms. You gotta go in it, bro.
All right. Let me pod. Assuming there's nothing going on, like life, okay, having a kid or something like that. Clavon Chason, sir, you are one of the last people that should be skipping any kind of workout or OTAs, bro. Like, bro, you have been I'm about to go, Dave. You have been lackluster, border a bust. Okay, you need all the reps you can get. And again, barring anything that's personal, right? And he's got somebody that's sick or whatever. If it's just I'm just skipping because it's voluntary, that ain't cool, bro. That ain't cool, bro. Especially Clowney, I get veteran, been around the block. I understand that one, even though I would want him to be there. I get it. But Chason, come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. They don't have to be there for They don't have to be there for mandatory either.
They bro, take the fines, right?
CD Lamb not at Cowboys camp.
Well, CD trying to get paid. He just saw what Justin Jefferson got, right?
I absolutely did. But I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying like it is mandatory. But yeah, you would take the fine to not. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That's all. I just hope it. Well, I hope it's not nothing serious, right? I hope he ain't just skipping just to be skipping. That's all I'm saying. And that's why I prefaced it by saying if it's cool, like he got something going on, bet. Like I'm not trying to G-check nobody. I'm not obviously in no position to do that. I'm just saying you might want to go. You might want to go out there and get these reps in, bro, because you are one season away from probably being out the league, low key.
That's true.
Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I tripping?
No, you. It's a valid point. It's a valid point. I'm not, but for Clowney, I ain't shocked.
Clowney, yeah, I get it.
Clowney was the type of guy I thought he could have signed during training camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably the type that's like, I'm gonna go to the things I have to go to. I ain't gonna go to everything. So I ain't mad at it. Now, what Canales said was interesting though. I mean, it's a different culture.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Dave. Going back to what Canal, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to ask you this while I saw because I meant to ask you this. Do you think that style is too buddy / friendly?
No. The concern is if they don't start showing up to the mandatory stuff. Then you got a legitimate concern. I understand it's always about, all right, everybody showed up to OTA, the voluntary OTAs. And that's good to get team chemistry and things of that sort. But the NFL is still a business at the end of the day. The players want to make those type of decisions, that's on them. But the other thing you got to take into account, it can be voluntary, right? But if you're somebody like a Clowney, you can get away with not showing up to that. But if you're somebody like your guy, what is his name? Clavon Chase. Yeah. You somebody like him, that's a different type of situation when it comes to whether or not you can make a team. Those little things matter. Like undrafted free agent rookies are going to show up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to fight for a spot.
Right.
But if there's folks that don't necessarily got to really fight for a spot, unless it's something about the leadership aspect of it, and everybody on the team ain't leaders. And that's not saying Jamie Clowney's not a leader. But my point is that everybody has their reasons to going to these things, whether they're a leader or not, whether they feel good about their roster position. Clowney knows he just got signed. Clowney knows he's going to make the team. Clowney ain't too worried about that. He can not show up. But there's others that.
But to me, like Chason, I think he falls in the same category as a Panero. Like Panero,
oh yeah, no, like, that's where I'm at. Like Panero's out here. Panero's out here risking everything.
He is.
Like he legitimately could be out of the league if we release him. Legitimately out of the league. Legitimately. Like he's literally rooting for my man for the thicker kicker to start not kicking well. Like he's literally doing that. That's what he's doing in essence. He's not competing. So in essence, he's losing the fight. Yeah. So you got a brand new coaching staff, bro. Brand new set of coaches. And you ain't showing up, your gig ain't guaranteed.
Shout out to Wade. Wade Evans says, I think Canales is saying the right thing to the media, but I don't think he would hesitate to play the better player. Nobody's safe. I think Canales will remember who was shooting in the gym with them. I agree. That's kind of what the Dave was saying.
Yeah, I mean that's where I'm at. But the thing is, like, there's some people can just walk to a gym and just start making shots. Bong, 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 bong. They ain't gotta be out here practicing and getting their reps in. And there's some people that can just walk in and do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? So like that's Clowney. Clowney can walk in, you tell him what it needs to be done, he's gonna rush the passer. So Clowney ain't got nothing to worry about. And somebody just said that Clowney did show for 1 or 2 OT.
Yeah, he was there. That's why I was joking about this picture because he was at some practices. But what I mean is when the week flipped, he isn't there. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's guys that are there every day. But again, we understand Clowney. We get it. It's Clowney, bro. Clowney he's been around the block. He knows he's been in several different similar style schemes. So he knows what's up. But again, Chason is a whole nother topic, and I just don't know what's going on.
I don't know if the kicker. I don't think my man, the thicker kicker, missed the field goal so far. So, but the other thing too that isn't discussed enough about the kickers. We talked about the special team rules when it came to Tariq Cohen signing with the Jets. But the other thing you got to think about is the kickers. There's more accuracy that's going to be required on these kickoffs now. So you out here holding out when there's different kickoff rules. Like you're not going to always touchbacks ain't always the thing when it comes to these new special teams rules. So now you out here, the coach ain't seen you. So how does he know what your capability is? You out here holding out. This ain't the year to hold out is my point. This ain't the year. If you're like a kicker, this ain't the year. Unless you're Justin Tucker or Harrison Butker, unless you're one of the top of the top, this ain't the year to be out here holding out. It's my opinion. But okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Real quick, I do want to briefly talk about some of the stuff that was going on with OTAs. So I know shout out to Vashti from Carolina Blitz. She was out there today, and one tweet that I did see from her that kind of caught my eye, and she was like apprehensively tweets in quotes, like she didn't want to say it, but she had to say it, is that during 11-on-11 drills, the Panthers offensive line starters are looking like maulers.
Nothing wrong with that.
And Hunt, she said Hunt did not participate in 11v11 from what she saw. He was walking around with a member of the staff. So he wasn't going through offensive position drills, so maybe he just kind of taking a vet day or whatever. I'm not sure, but that's kind of what's going on at camp. I'm just kind of going through some of the tweets of some other folks that were out there. Yeah, Leggett is out there. He's working on the side. And so Robert Hunt was back. He did miss some time for family reasons. Again, there we go. So they're saying some guys are out due to family, and that's cool. Like, obviously nobody's gonna say that you should be there over your family, and hopefully that's the same case. Hopefully there's not nothing going on with his family, but I would hope there's a valid reason that Clavon Chason is not there too. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see, who else do I trust
Hunt had a
there?
kid. Oh, rest of him.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Let me see. Josh Klein, he usually be out there too, but I don't see any tweets from him.
While you do that, I'm gonna do the super chat. If you shout out to Double O Kane, if you just compare Canals versus Wright's approach to the offseason as well as engagement with the fans and players, it just feels like night and day. I completely agree with this aspect here. It is night and day.
Yeah, it is.
Appreciate the super chat, Double O Kane. But nah, man, I'm not too concerned about it. But the Mauler comment was great. That's one thing that was missing last year with the line was the nastiness of it all. So I'm not mad at having an offensive line that's mauling folks. I'm mad at that one bit.
Yep. Downhill, create lanes, man. Let Chuba make it happen. Chuba and Brooks, hopefully. But anyway, Dave, I think that's all I had. Let me see. Yep, that's old. That's all I had, Dave. Anything else? Anything else you talk about?
Nah, man. We Gucci right now. We good to go. Hopefully everything, the plans that we got going is gonna rock this weekend,
Yep. Got some good content coming. So again, if you have not already signed up to be a Patreon member, man, sign up. Again, you'll get exclusive opportunities to win game tickets, and you'll get access to all this content that we're getting ready to push out.
CJ Stroud, man, I ain't trying to talk about CJ Stroud.
Oh man. Yeah, so yeah, CJ Stroud. We'll briefly talk about it, but CJ Stroud went on $1 million worth of game with Wallow and Gilly. I think it was just Gilly. I just saw Gilly in the clip, but he went out there. He was talking about some trash talkers. I think they asked him about who were the best trash talkers, and he talked about Carolina. He was talking about Sam Franklin, and he mentioned a couple things. Number one, he mentioned that he was pissed off at the Panthers for us not drafting him. So he was a little juiced when we were going up against him.
And they lost.
Then he started throwing and lost. And he started throwing a little shade. Started talking about how we wasn't nothing. And he did admit that was his worst game in his career. But he was talking about that we wasn't nothing. And he started talking about Sam Franklin, 42. And he was talking about how Sam was talking crazy. And then they were talking about how Sam didn't have no teeth on the side. Like all his side teeth was missing. And they was roasting. They was roasting each other. But yeah, that was pretty much it, man. Like it's trash talk, bro. It's trash talk. So and shout out to CJ, man. Y'all know me. I was a big CJ Stroud guy all the way up until about the combine. And I kind of figured we were taking Bryce, and I support Bryce, but CJ cooking, and I just don't like how he shaded us, and rightfully so, right? He wanted to be drafted by us. He wanted to go number one overall.
We want to be one overall like any other quarterback we want to be. I get it.
Yeah.
But dog, you lost to us. We could have been 1-16, but because of you, we were 2-15.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you had your worst game of your career against us, against the worst team in the NFL. And he made the playoffs. He did what he had to do. I mean, but like I get annoyed when I see things like that because you don't win football games alone. He had a phenomenal coach.
Yeah.
He had a phenomenal scheme that behind him offensively and defensively. He had a lot of help. You know what I'm saying? He had another rookie that emerged with him, and Tank Dell before he got hurt. Like he just had more pieces. That's just the reality.
Yeah, and we'll see, man. Listen, CJ had a better year one than Bryce, and they're always going to be compared their entire careers. But let's give Bryce a little time, man. Hopefully things will get right. We'll see.
Listen, man. research has shown that a lot of times when you out here taking these quarterbacks early, like what they typically do, if you don't have pieces around them, they're going to struggle. That's part of the deal. They're going to struggle. Like most teams that takes quarterbacks high, if they do not have pieces around them, they ain't got a good scheme around them with a coaching staff and players that can support him, they will struggle. No matter who it is. Like some of the greatest quarterbacks, they weren't taken in the top 3. They weren't taken in the top 5. Patrick Mahomes wasn't taken in the top 5. But he also got into a situation with the Chiefs where he didn't have to play. They were a playoff team when they drafted him. So there's a formula to it. Having an elite, like everybody ain't gonna beat Cam Newton or Lamar Jackson. And even Lamar Jackson got help. We ain't discussed enough, but he got help. So there's my soapbox. CJ got pieces, man. Bryce didn't. It was clear. It's like somebody tweeted talking about Bryce had the best, had the most time of any quarterback, the most quarterbacks in the NFL. I almost lost my mind when I saw that tweet. Bro, Bryce was getting killed back there, bro. But all right, but we'll see what happens, man. Second season, second year. I mean, remember, Robert Griffin III won Rookie of the Year, too. Never forget that. And he was out the league in like 3 years after that. It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cyclical, bro.
It does. It is. And I think that it's one year at a time, bro. Like,
yeah.
Let's just hope Bryce has something to debate with CJ Stroud this year. Because last year there's no debate.
No, there's no debate, man. I mean, but it goes back to you got to have the pieces around him. Like even Will Levis played well. But Will Levis had pieces around him for the Titans. So like there's a lot of other factors involved. Like people were worried about Bryce's durability. What was the first quarterback that went down in the rookie class? The biggest one of the bunch.
The biggest one.
The biggest one of the bunch was out for the season.
Major pause, Dave. Jeez.
Major pause. But that's my point. Like there's no fixed equation to this. Everything is fluid. All right. On that note, let's close this out.
Agreed. With that said, man, we getting out of here. Got some content coming for our Patreon members pretty soon. Hopefully this weekend. We'll see. But stay tuned. And if you're a Patreon member, be sure to join the Discord. And you'll be up to date with all of the information that's coming. And you'll have an opportunity to potentially get that Germany ticket. And not only that, you'll be able to potentially win another game ticket of your choice. It's random luck of the draw, but make sure y'all sign up. All right.
Patreon.com/Panther Nation PC to sign up.
Yep. Shout out to Patreon. With that said, man, we'll holler at y'all next weekend or next week. We out here.
Next Tuesday.
Peace.